Welcome to the What's Our Verdict podcast, where we fashion ourselves television judge and jury. My name is JJ Crowder. I'm here with my co-hosts, Mattson.
Better read than dead.
And Alec Burgess.
Let's get it.
We appreciate you tuning in. Go ahead and hit that follow, subscribe, like, bell, notification, all them buttons. Hit them, push them, and then tell friends about us. And write letters about us. And I don't know.
Send them via snail mail.
Go leave us a review somewhere. Tell people about us that way. We appreciate it. It'll help grow the podcast. With that, we're here to talk live about Andor, season 1, episode 6. The 3 episode start really is messing with me because I feel like we've only watched four episodes of Andor, and we have watched 6.
It's out of 12, right? So we're officially halfway through the season.
Yeah, we're halfway through. Again, it just feels weird, but I will say that I enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, it's a great episode.
Yeah, it had me forgetting that we're not done. Like, where it feels like, this is like end of season 1.
Yeah, it was a pretty big moment. The whole episode was pretty intense. Like, I liked it because there was some serious tension and uncomfortable a lot of the time. Going, when's the other shoe gonna drop? You know what I mean? And I thought it would drop even worse than it actually did. But I was also impressed because, in true Andor / Rogue One fashion, we lost some people.
Lost pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
We're left with what's your chick, Val or something?
Yeah, I don't know their names. That's probably unfortunate.
Blondie McBiceps and Andor are left.
Well, the girlfriend's there too. She's just back at the base.
Yeah, but she's not getting off Aldhani. They're locking that planet down.
That's fair. Well, then they're all screwed because I'm pretty sure they landed on Aldhani for the Doctor, right? Or was that a different planet?
Oh, I thought that was a different planet.
Maybe it was. I was under the assumption that was the same planet.
I think
if that was the same planet, Andor should have just taken the 80 million and ran.
Yeah.
Like, bro, do the smart thing. Don't want to do the right thing in this situation.
I thought they were supposed to get all the credits. They left a lot there.
Yeah, they were way behind schedule. And then they had the whole fight and didn't go so well.
Yeah. That whole fight sequence was really cool. Mm-hmm. But it was also a little bit of, why are you taking so long? As soon as the troopers come down, right, the Empire troopers, and you see that the kind of guy who's in charge of the garrison is looking all disheveled and sweaty and hung over. Like, they took a long time to go from point A to point B and start blasting people.
Yeah.
I was thinking, this is not a very trigger-happy empire.
Not the brightest tools in the shed over there.
Yeah. It was a... Yeah, but I mean, I guess, they at least they explained it away kind of with, Andor and the kid, and I cannot remember the kid's name, which makes me feel bad because he was a cool character. Their conversation at the beginning where he's talking about the Empire just doesn't care. They don't want to get in a gunfight. So, they're dancing around it. You know what I mean? They're like, can we avoid having to be in a gunfight here? We just want to watch this crazy meteor shower thing. So.
That's fair. I subscribe to the shoot first, ask questions later theory.
Me too.
Policy.
Not that they would have hit anything anyway, but.
That's fair. They had stormtrooper accuracy, these boys did.
That's right. Though they hit more good guys than any other set of troopers I've ever seen. Though technically they weren't stormtroopers, so I guess that's where that's where it comes from. But.
They hit the stormtrooper or the ex-stormtrooper.
That's fair.
So I think that's a point.
Well, yeah, when he was running out, he's like, "Cover me." I'm like, "This dude's dead."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like he can't shoot worth a lick.
Yeah. Yeah. I was pretty like I was glad to see there were consequences. Like it wasn't just everybody makes it, which I didn't think that would be the case, considering the source material and the character that we're basing all this off of. I mean, it certainly wasn't a happy ending for that group in their movie debut either. So,
I just knew he couldn't die yet.
sure. Yeah, I mean, he's got plot armor for sure. But that's about it.
Yeah. JJ, as our crazy Star Wars individual, do you own a Empire credit or whatever the monetary system is actually called?
I don't. I've never even looked to see if you can get that kind of thing. I do own a it's up here. It's behind me on the shelf. I'll have to pull it down one of these days. It's too difficult to do right in the middle of the moment, but I own one of the Beskar blocks from
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
I got one of the replica of the Beskar with the Imperial insignia in the corner from The Mandalorian. I thought that was dope. It's
cool.
I screw this up every time I try it. It's right there ish. I don't know if you can see it. It's behind some stuff, but it's you see like that's the Death Star right behind it, that gray.
Yeah.
That's the Beskar.
All right. Right on.
You can indeed buy Imperial credits.
Nice. I'll have to add that to my collection then.
Props to Disney and Star Wars for their depiction of the eye.
Yeah.
Because that was incredible. They did not disappoint. And that was something I would have been mad about if they had.
Yeah.
But they came through in spades showing that.
Yeah. And especially when they were in the middle of it and it actually looked like an eye, like that shit was dope.
Yeah. I was getting worried because it like started with the one here and one there.
Yeah.
And I was starting to think that we were going to be spending all our time in the heist and not get to see the eye.
Mm-hmm.
I was about ready to flip.
Yeah.
But no, they came through big time. It was awesome to see.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. Really cool. This whole episode was interesting. Like I thought the back and forth between like the crazy almost war chant of this people, the indigenous people there doing the underneath the eye, and then like it just added a level of tension to the actual heist that was going on, where we kept cutting back and I kept going, stop it, I don't want to watch this, but it's like you know what I mean, but I love that because it made me want to get back into watching what was going on. So yeah, I mean, I really thought it was a fun episode. I liked that I've been kind of, and I don't know that I was pissed, but I kind of grumbled a couple times about going, man, it's been going pretty slow. We have some serious character development here. And normally I'm like, it's great if it works out, but most shows unfortunately don't do character development very well anymore. But this one did, at least with this group, right? Like I still don't give a shit about Mon Mothma at this point, but this group, I'm very intrigued with who's left and how. I mean, will they ever interact again? You know what I mean? So I think that there's some interesting.
Can we talk about and his name escapes me, the disgraced corporate security guy that we had, the parenting moments, and the blue milk. It's good to see that. I'm curious what you all think the show has in store for him. Clearly, he's going to do something. And the last image we saw of him was looking at Cassie, and I wonder what part he has to play.
I mean, I think he's going to become obsessed, obviously, right? If he isn't already. It's just under what premise is he going to go after? I mean, is he just going to become like like a private eye kind of thing? Is he going to be
hunter?
Yeah, exactly. Like where does that come from and how does that look? So I hope they keep it interesting because I like that character.
Did you like his mom? That was pretty funny.
Well, no, his mom cracks me up, like for sure.
I don't know if I've seen that type of Star Wars parenting moment before.
There's a lot of firsts. I laugh at these like the reporters, because like they've been writing weird stuff about this show, and one of them was like, "It's the first time we've seen anybody urinate on screen in a Star Wars movie." I'm like, really? This is what you're gonna write about? Like, of all the things that happened in this episode, this is the one, huh? Whatever. I thought it might be like Dr. Quadpaw or something, because that guy was cool.
Looks like they eat space Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah. Also true.
I'll tell you also, I really liked kind of how dark it was. This kind of episode where they're in the middle of the heist. The commander's family gets caught up into it, and they're totally ready to just, take out this kid.
Yeah, he was sick. Kill him.
And they've got, a little bit of humanizing the Empire, because on the flip side, you have the visiting officer who, gets the drop on the one guy, and he's like, "Hey, let the kid go." So you have this almost reversal of roles where the inhuman Empire is now the ones with morals and humans, and you got the rebels who are being those
humans.
Yeah. You got the rebels being the kind of dicks.
It's true. I noticed that too, and I it was interesting. I was surprised, though. Wasn't it Skeen or was it Val, like Val or whatever, that had the gun to the kid's head? Because it turns out Skeen was a dick anyway, which we knew.
I think it was Skeen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a dark moment, and I was like, "Ooh, okay, Star Wars is going there."
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I don't think they'll hold back when it comes to, like I said, because I mean, Rogue One, they didn't, like, when they, spoiler alert, when they kill everybody at the end, it's like, oh shit. But yeah, it was impressive to see, like I said, the character development. Even the one dude that was part of this, like, had married into the people from this planet. Like, it was really interesting to see him too, where he's just like so heavily involved, and then in the gunfight, and then, like, I just thought he was going to end up. There was a moment there where I thought he was done and he was going to walk down and be part of, like, the celebration of the eye. You know what I mean? Not go back and be part of the heist. And I was okay with how it played out, but I thought there's so many characters that, even the ones that I shouldn't care about, that all of a sudden they've done a good job. Like you said, I was like, oh damn, this dude just had a heart attack, like moving freaking bars of credits for thieves trying to save his family. And to your point, like, you're like, ooh, yeah, but he's part of the Empire. But
yeah,
not everybody in the Empire is
Darth Vader,
terrible human being. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I do like that you're getting more of this ground level, realistic, everyman kind of game on both sides, and how both sides are pretty nasty to each other, because you get Skeen that portrays them. Not that I was surprised by that. That was the most predictable thing on the planet, that Skeen's trying to split up money and take off. What a dick. But
yeah, that kind of contrasted me for a little bit, because I was like, before that, he acts like he cares about the kid, right? And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. But again, kind of earlier in the show, we see that he almost has a little bit of a soft spot for the kid. So I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Then when he landed, he's like, hey, how much you think is there? We could split it two ways. You fly the ship, I got the hideout. I was like, oh, there it is. Yeah. He was just trying to land before they got to their rendezvous. So he could split.
Yeah.
It's all about the money.
Always about the money.
But then I'm also thinking, why don't you just do that on your way to the doctors, right? You got two people who are able to fight you off, and one of them's driving, so pop the girl. Kid's not going to do anything. Now Andor has a choice to make. We're changing the rendezvous, and you're getting half.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't the smartest betrayal plan ever. But I also wonder too, how much of it was just in the moment, right? Like, he sees this opportunity because he knows that technically Andor at this point he's a mercenary, right? So odds are pretty decent that he might run off with you with the money. So I don't. Maybe it wasn't something that he was planning to do from the beginning. It was just a
crime of opportunity.
I mean, his
Yeah.
odds were pretty close to being right. How many times did Cassian try to? I mean, he was going to bolt like 2 or 3 times. He didn't, but he was about there.
Yeah. So I was sad to see the kid die. I really like him, but I like how they're using him too. Like, so with Nemec, when she gave him his manifesto that he wanted him to have, like, it obviously you're starting to see where that humanity is going to come into Andor, coming from Nemec and being, but I mean, what a stupid way to die. Like, I was like, oh, this poor
Crushed
kid
by
just
your
gets
hall.
mushed by your freaking credits that you just stole. I was like, oh, what a terrible. But kudos to him, man. He's sitting there doing readouts and everything else while he just got smashed and
Right?
probably not feeling
Props to
too great.
him.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be like, okay, you guys are on your own. My legs got crushed. I am done. I'm using my out. We're through.
Yeah. I'm
Oh.
just gonna kind of lay here.
You're a good co-host, Alec. You show your true colors.
Absolutely. I'm not in it for the idealism.
I just got smashed between 10 tons of credits. I'm out.
I'm done.
Dude's probably lucky he even survived getting smushed by that.
Right?
The other thing that made me giggle was like the whole Luthen thing at the end. Like, that's all you needed was him just rolling into the back and just giggling. You know what I mean? Like, starting to laugh because he knew that it had worked, at least on some level, right? That it was this big heist and everything worked. So yeah, I liked it. I like where we're headed. I'm interested to see where the rest of this show is going to go. And I hope it keeps the intensity that it's had up to this point.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm worried it's gonna back off and then build
Yeah.
up to something else, back off and build up to something else.
That's how every show does it, though.
Yeah, but not in 3-episode blocks.
I don't know. I feel like if we look at all the TV shows we watch, they probably ebb and flow like that more often than not.
Oh, sure, all shows ebb and flow, but not in the strict, rigid formation that we've seen so far with Andor.
Yeah, and I think my fear is, it's a slight fear right now, but I think my fear right now is that we've seen the climax of this show, right? This is a hard act to follow, this particular episode and the build up to this episode. So that's my concern, is where do you go from here? Because you still need to have these moments that draw you in. And I realize you can have, it's basically, if you take these 6 episodes we've watched, it's like a really intense Star Wars heist movie. Like, that's pretty much what we just watched. So now that they've finished that arc, they have the ability to move into a different arc altogether, which could have its own climax. I just hope it's as good as what we just watched, because it was good. I mean, it was intense. It was fun. It was interesting. There was a lot of great acting and story involved. So, yeah. My hope is there, but we'll see.
Maybe Andor will make the Kessel Run in 8 parsecs.
Could be. Oh, goodness. It was a pretty clean run for the heist until, what the hell's up with the fear of heights almost ruining your damn heist?
Oh, honestly, like, that's not something you bring up in day one.
Right? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I wouldn't be able to do that particular part. Like, I'd be like, that I'm not the right choice. But my life depends on it at this point, so I'm jumping. There's none of this hesitation shit. I mean, you're surrounded. You're up on this parapet with like a bunch of freaking troopers and stuff running around. Yeah, I'm not just standing there. Man. The other thing I think they should have had was like some explosions. I need explosions in a heist like this, because I get like they were trying to keep quiet, but like, come on, man, rig some explosions, because that'll keep you distracted. Like, it'll help with your, hey, we're under attack up here.
Yeah, I
Give
could
you
go
some
for some explosions.
Yeah, I just think
Explosion never hurt anybody.
every good
I mean,
heist.
they were trying to be covert, but yeah, I mean, I'm not going to turn down a good explosion.
Yeah. Because that's what I thought that device was at first when they hijacked the radio. I'm like, nice, they're gonna blow some shit up, and then we got no explosions. That was sad. That was sad.
And it was a perfect setup for explosion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it would have been, especially because you could have like made it an even more perfect heist because you blow up the dude that figures out the radio. Explosions worked.
Yeah, and then you have more time to load more credits to crush what's his bucket.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess they could have rigged explosions everywhere because they knew that. I mean, the ships were coming anyways. It wasn't the TIE fighter; they were coming no matter what. So why not just blow everything up? Buy yourself some more time.
Yeah.
Poorly planned. Should have put JJ there.
Explosions. We need explosions.
Or explosions.
I'm telling you, if I was ever on like a heist crew or something, like, what are we blowing up? Every good heist needs some explosions.
Going back to your point, JJ, about where they're gonna go next from here.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think that maybe this is where Mon Mothma will take a little bit more of a central role in the show?
I mean,
and we get a little bit of her story and how she becomes full-fledged rebellion.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to me like this is the first huge piece, right? Because if you think about it, it was like 80 million credits, and the 80 million credits. So, shut up. I'm a nerd. Okay, so you can build. Mm-hmm. It costs 150,000 credits to build a TIE fighter. Okay, 80 million credits. You can build like 500 some odd TIE fighters.
Some quick little mathematics going here. You said 150,000?
Yeah, I think that's, if I remember rightly.
Per TIE fighter? That seems cheap.
Yeah,
they're supposed to be cheap.
Yeah, they're the Pinto of the space fighters.
Yeah, so you can make 533.
Yeah,
0.33 repeating TIE fighters with those credits.
Yep,
that's a nice little navy.
Well, I was gonna say, so now you have, if you look at it from that, like you put yourself some. Sorry, if you put yourself some thought process, you have that comparison now, right? 533 TIE fighters. They're obviously not going to build 533 TIE fighters, but 80 million credits based on that. You can fund the rebellion for a long time just on what you just made on this heist, right? And that's if, and then you set up other heists, you find other ways to get money, things like that. I mean, now you become instead of this ragtag band of rebels, now you're talking about a fully funded rebellion. So I think we just saw the true birth of the rebellion is my guess. And now, like you say, Mon Mothma comes into account and we get to do some interesting things. And maybe we start to see that confidence is built between the two of them, right? They have had success. They have funding. How do we grow? What's our next strike? What's our next attack? How do we do this moving forward? So I'm very interested to see that piece of it. And then obviously we know Andor is going to read the manifesto and find his way back into the rebellion, obviously. But I am intrigued to see how we get to lay that out and we get to see this creation of something that we all know so well. So
sweet. I'd be okay with that.
Story to tell.
Yeah. Hopefully she just isn't dealing with her petty, silly husband. Like it's just been such a waste. I'm like, God, stop. I don't care.
Man buns, problems.
Dude, telling you.
The problems with man buns, I tell you.
And her petulant child, like, just throw him out of that freaking Coruscant balcony and.
Holy cow. Child speaks like that. My goodness, dude, about to get slapped.
Dude, I'd have got my head knocked off. Or talk to my mom wouldn't do anything. She'd just look at my dad. My dad would have laid me out, dude.
Yeah, that was Star Wars kids, man. Entitled.
I'm telling you, man. You live on Coruscant.
I wonder what the Emperor's kids are like. They're probably drugged out of their minds.
Technically, they're all clones. So, yeah, cool. I've enjoyed it. Like I think this is the best Disney Plus show since The Mandalorian. So, especially the original season of The Mandalorian, it's been
I'd agree with
enjoyable.
that.
Because there's another show that we're reviewing that's just straight booty.
Oh yes, but it had so much potential. That's the worst part. All right, well, that is Andor season 1, episode 6. Jeez, I keep wanting to say 5, but that's because my brain's messed up because of the damn weird 3-episode intro. But Mattson, your turn, buddy. Tell everybody where they can find us.
Where can we be found, ladies and gentlemen? First and foremost, check out our newly formed Patreon if you want to watch trailer reviews, vote on some of the movies and shows that we watch, as well as just force feed us something we have to watch. We're at What's Our Verdict Podcast and Patreon. If you want to come support us there, it'd be great. Keep this ship rolling. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, most especially. TikTok's where a lot of cool videos are being dropped, most lately about Rings of Power and D&D combined. And then our website's under construction, but you can email us at hosts@whatsourverdict.com if you want to get in touch with us or slide into our DMs. And obviously, if you are listening to this podcast, we are wherever good podcasts can be found. Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, you name it, we're there.
That's right. Sweet. Thanks, Mattson. And yeah, as always, we appreciate you tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Cinemagic out.
Whoa!